Hi everyone and welcome back to Telecom World Asia's Intelligent Connectivity channel. We have a very interesting presentation lined up next, which would be delivered by Saad Sheikh from Saudi Telecom Company. And he would be talking about operators' cloud journey to distributed cloud and networks disaggregation. For the audience, if you have any questions, please pop them into the live discussion area on the right side of your screen. Without any further ado, I would now like to pass this over to Saad. Thank you very much.
Good day, everyone. I am really excited to be part of the Telecom World Asia event this year. I hope all of you are safe during these challenging but obviously very exciting times of technology. About myself, my name is Saad Sheikh and I work as Chief Architect within Infrastructure Planning and Architecture Design team of STC. My main role here is to build an infrastructure and networks around software principles of common, shared, programmable, and automated, all the way from cloud core to the edge. In my today's session, I will be speaking about our 5G journey so far and how the new wave of the cloud solutions, network disaggregation, and new software architectures are driving it, and how we are learning and adopting it to become a future software-defined company. So let's start our presentation. Before I delve into the technical architectures, it is very important to understand our journey and to build an analogy to see why as owners of the critical infrastructure, we as service providers are even more vital in a post-COVID-19 world. The triad where we need to especially pay focus is on the environment, economy, and the ecosystem, and how we can place ourselves in the value chain. We all need to understand that what we are trying to build for future networks is a fully distributed system, a way to connect those systems, to process data at the branches of those ecosystems, to build a common infrastructure like the stem of the trees, and to build a strong networking and transport solutions that will still retain as the roots of this jungle. About our journey about 5G, it is very important to understand 5G journey in the context of infrastructure and software. We strongly believe this understanding is vital if we really want to innovate the market and the solutions around it. Today, we have already built more than 3,500 live sites using the 3GPP Release 15 NSA architectures, primarily selling the EMBB and FWA use cases and video games. And obviously, we have emphasized to gain an early understanding of both the user expectations and experiences of the 5G. We also launched a 5G SA core recently using the reference architectures. And in the same time, we are enhancing our NSA core architectures using on the voice side, IMS enhancements, introduction of the edge services, especially on the video and the IoT. In the coming 24 months, we expect to build a thriving 5G network end-to-end that supports the vision of Open RAN, standalone core, edge, and end-to-end network slicing. This is very important target to achieve in order to serve our verticals. However, in order to reach these goals, there are some certain directions that we need to catch up. The most important of which is the software and intelligent automation using the new software principles of cloud native SB architecture, slicing, observability of the data. On the infrastructure side, the new partnership and the connectivity models and use of the new disruption like the edge and Open RAN, and obviously the open networking is something that we are actively pursuing. On connectivity, as we can see, obviously with 5G, we have opened up our pipes, delivering a 1 gig site compared to the previous 100 mega. And what's most important is to introduce this connectivity as a service or traditional NAS. Video enterprise and verticals is very vital for the success of the 5G. About our challenges, we all need to see that when a telecom company pursuing a cloud adoption and software, the challenges are quite different than those faced by the pure IT companies, right? Especially on the concept of the service itself, about the reliability, availability, about the architecture, how the solutions are built and delivered, and obviously the presence of the regulation and SLA. In nutshell, we can drive our 5G journey into a number of streams and trying to address it at the outset, not at the transition, neither at the destination. For example, selection of the open source solutions, making sure that we are building a carrier gate specs and models is very vital, where obviously CNTT is one of the direction we are looking. Then promotion of the open solutions and not the Fox solutions. That becomes a silo over time. Similarly, the certification and testing of the VNFs is very important to realize the vision of an open and transparent network. Tenant as SLA through end-to-end slicing. Similarly, the use of the AI in the telecom, in the 5G world is very important. Most importantly, the introduction of the nimble players and the innovators in the current supply chain and ecosystem is very important. And this is where we are finding the sweet spot for the use of the open RAN, edge, and disaggregated hardware. In terms of operation size, for sure, when we go to the software patches or the upgrades, we are trying to emphasize the solution like the digital twins, like the Canary and CRDs to deliver everything in the software package or artifacts. In terms of orchestration, there are some unique directions we're trying to pursue, primarily trying to enable us for the future AI and machine learning and towards a policy and data-driven networks. Today, we have already started our journey to 5G like most of the T1 operators around the targets to quick to the market and deliver a solutions which is highly conformant and high performance and giving an experience same or better than the legacy world. So in order to achieve this, for sure, the first phase is to introduce a multi-vendor based reference architectures to see with the full tools, full operation capabilities, full managed services. In the meantime, in parallel, we have already started building our container platforms, which is an open platform with the complete pass or aligned with the XGVela concept with the full DevOps, day two operations, software factory concepts. And it will be enhanced as we move along with the full CI/CD pipeline, focusing on day one and day two. However, still we think there are certain number of gaps. For example, the use of convergent SDN, the day two operations, the distributed architecture and capability role, especially between VNFM, VIM, and SIM. Building a profitable 5G network is very important for the scalar vision of our target. In the NFV world, we have faced a number of challenges, especially around the hardware cost promise, the licenses, and the system integration. Today, for 5G, we are trying to build a complete partnership model where we are emphasizing the local capability of the testing and validation and conformance of the solutions prior to our RFPs, and to agree with our partners with KKOI and SQI based delivery. Most importantly, automation is the driving force for us to moving forward. And this is the only direction if somehow we have to deliver the solutions quickly, as well as saving a lot of cost today facing in the IoT and the testing scenarios. In terms of the use of 5G with partners, including hyperscalers, we have a firm belief that as we move forward with 5G, there is a more and more opportunity to partnership with different partner ecosystem along different streams. We have seen that on the IT side, telcos have found a valid use cases of a certain applications, and also on the telecom side, certain VNFs to go on the cloud, especially on the OSS and VAS domains. On the 5G, the use of the edge, especially for the enterprise and 5G, and the use of the 5G core networks, it makes a certain use cases with the hyperscalers. And these are one of the directions we are pursuing right now. Most importantly, there is a clear roadmap where we think there are a certain use cases, and as market gains momentum, so we are expecting to build something together with our hyperscalers to bring value to the market. In terms of the network vision, today distributed cloud, which is a multi-cloud and multi-operator, is the right direction to evolve. Such networks will require to offer different service to different verticals. And in order to achieve this service, we have to follow that we remain lean, infrastructure homogeneity, complete automation, and end-to-end testing is the very important target for such a network. Use of networking and NAS is becoming more and more important. We think to achieve this, we have to approach along two streams. The first is the modeling or the software vision of the network itself. We firm believe that with this microservice and SBA architectures, even the selling the connectivity through end-to-end slicing, making observability of data, making use of the machine learning and AI is going to be more easy for the operators to introduce. On the other hand, on the networking and the infrastructure side, use of the technologies like the NSM, like Argo, Telco for security. In other words, to deliver the whole pipeline as a software artifacts and a YAML code. This is something very important to achieve. If we talk about the 5G networks, we all know we have to pay special attention about the architectures we delivered on the last mile, which is the edge and the open RAN, and obviously the transport. Open RAN and network disaggregation is expected to be the mainstream after 2 to 3 years. However, if we see that today, we already see the early solutions in the market. However, in order to build such networks, we need to change the fundamental paradigm about how we are constructing the clouds during the recent years. For example, what is the definition of cloud in a constrained environment? RAN and the radio service environments requirements are very vital to build a profitable open RAN network that can scale and deliver performance. Definition of the common specs and KPIs and its alignment with the RAN and 3GPP specs is very, very important. Then the use of the programming is very, very important. Today, this is the key use case to deliver a fully automated RAN. Then when we talk about 5G and the last mile, the use of the transport solution, especially in hybrid solution of eCPRI, CPRI, and delivering the Ethernet till the 5G side is very important direction to achieve. In other words, networking is becoming more and more vital in a 5G world. Today, there are obviously certain challenges to decouple the architecture, especially the XN interfaces from the 4G and 5G. This is very important if we have to migrate, especially with standalone code using option 5 or a situation where we will deliver as an SLA. Where we are standing today, in the last year, we have made a decent progress in the number of communities, build relation with partners, ecosystem and operators. From the infrastructure side, we have freezed the requirements of what we will deploy in the 5G sites in standard configuration with infrastructure homogeneity, use of the GPUs, NPUs, ASICs to enhance the baseband performance. A certain POCs have been planned to primarily integrate and test the different interfaces. Transport design, however, we think still need to be optimized because the cost saving on transport is not coming at the lower layers. That needs to be adopted to the option 3 or option 2. Operation of the RAN, this is something which is, we are seeing a direction through RAKE. And as of now, we are actively participating in collaboration in the community to define a blueprint and then doing the RFX and then accordingly selection of the SI partners is the first step before we are going to do a field trial and move forward. The edge market is maturing faster than expected. We think most of the edge use cases come to fruition in next 12 to 24 months. However, this time is enough for the hyperscalers to cannibalize the market. That is why, as a telecom operator, the time to act is now. We think that the edge will redefine how we will sell connectivity. It is a reinvention of the internet itself. We have seen that there are a number of players, including telecom, hyperscalers, and number of startups who are rushing to this. However, as edge, as owner of the last mile, and especially taking the key parameters like the latency, identity, quality, and connectivity. This is very important that as telecom operators, we take more responsibility and bring the whole ecosystem together to build the edge. However, the edge is not alone. We have to first see the 3GPP or telco service. This is very important to position us as a differentiator. For example, today, the campus networks, the private networks, use of the features like 5G LAN, the IAB, like the integrated backhauling at the radio side, TSN, multi-transport links, in other words, which call the side links, end-to-end slicing coming with release 16. These are some of the narratives which are really enhancing the connectivity requiring at the edge. We all know an edge company can build a platform and a software, but if you cannot connect these distributed edge at a high speed, it will not make much business sense. On the other hand, connectivity models in the form of where we will host. Today, there are different models and we want to partner with all. For example, delivery through the public cloud, delivery to the on-prem, delivery through our partner operators, delivering through a open core solutions, for example, to build a private LTE. On the other hand, we have to see after we build the solution, we build something that we can sell. It's not like a telco service where there is a legacy customer. We have to attract the developers. So working on the B2X model, the SaaS offering, and a global multi-operator and multi-country connectivity is very important. We think the most important parameters here is to attract the customer. So the developer onboarding, testing, how we will orchestrate and deliver the end-to-end slicing for different use cases is very important. Our experience from this market is that the developer do not expect 100 solutions who at the end of the day, we cannot guarantee it will work in a prescribed manner. We need to give them a complete SDK and toolkit with 10 solutions that can work and that can complete the whole job from the requirements gathering, design to runtime testing till it's offered to the marketplace. 5G orchestration will be principally different from the earlier generations like in the 4G. Without going into much details, that is a separate subject in the TM forum ODA. I just want to emphasize the key blocks where we are paying more attention. For example, use of the hybrid XNF. Yesterday was VNF. Now we have to see the inventory and PNF and ITFs. This whole modeling is very important. In other words, also we have to see what is the best definition of abstraction. Too much abstraction impedes on the performance degradation. On the other hand, building the data lakes and the common data platform is very important because if we have to consume this data, do some automation around machine learning and AI, that's very important. Finally, it is also important for the last mile of the edge and the RAN automation. Evolution of ITSI ZSM and closed loop AI is required today, not tomorrow. Otherwise, 5G cannot scale. In terms of the early use cases of the 5G, it's very important that 5G data can be monetized in a regulated market from infrastructure view to managed services view. In other words, to win this market, it's very important that as telecom operators, we change our role as an infrastructure server and storage provider to something like an open API connector, or finally something as a SaaS enabler for the vertical market. That market is very important for us. We have to really work as an enabler to those markets. Today, we are asking one fundamental question as a telecom operator. If we are building a 5G network and the data is available, can we implement an end-to-end process, for example, a planning or the next year forecasts in an automated fashion where the data will not only predict, make a decision, avoiding the human loop. There are some certain use cases that we have targeting, like the life cycle management on the infrastructure together with the application, pushing the policies, and most important, the normalization or automation and optimization of the topology itself. For example, both in terms of configuration, in terms of workload placement, and delivering the connectivity SLA and end-to-end KPI. For SDN and networking, one clear observation from our side, as we are moving outside the core data centers, edge, the networking and open networking is becoming more pervasive and important. SDN today, we have hardened and stabilized after a lot of testing, and we think this is something carrier grade. However, it is obviously not highly scalable. So we have to transition over SDN and networking from the situation today to a situation tomorrow. We have different solutions that we can explore, different paths. It depends on the market adoption of technology. and obviously the over supplier and capabilities and available solutions. For example, going to the open source solution is very reasonable. It will make the, for example, the Tor and the switches quite nimble, control the observability, able to control and push the policies. But obviously, it is a bit difficult to achieve. On the other hand, we have one direction to move toward the disaggregation. However, what is our direction today is to build based on the common specs and models where both the BIM or the SIM can be managed through a converged SDN. From this, we want to evolve to a direction where the SDN is capable to be built through the CRDs or software within the platform itself. This will deliver us both the scale and the problems like the use of the analytics, security as a service, and other NAS capabilities, which are limiting factor of the SDN today. And obviously, it will also support through CNI plugin the other traditional solutions. So it will also expect all over application requirements. In terms of the benchmarking of solution, I think this is quite a chicken egg problem. For example, everybody will tell you the issue, but not the solution. Today, we have seen a lot of issues coming from the PNF side, something coming on the infrastructure, the resource dimensioning, the telemetry, operational is for sure is a quite a painful direction in this. Today, we have a number of streams along which we are trying to fix this problem. For example, on the infrastructure side, use of the hardware infrastructure module like the Redfish and ODM. Then on the network and storage, pushing all this acceleration things down to the storage and last device, making the CRDs and cloud APIs open and clear. Then on the ITSI and NFV specs, we are trying to build a synergy between the VNFD packages and the CNFs itself, because for sure today Hallam is following a pure IT style and together with VNF packages. So in other words, we have to combine not only provisioning but the whole life cycle management. Validation of the VNF and CNF KPI is very important, and fully automated infrastructure across the life cycle. It will really enable us to deliver the infrastructure in a standard way which can serve all application requirements. In terms of DevOps adoption in the telco practice, we are trying to build a common test platform that can serve both the CNFs and the VNFs. So the definition of the platform and text execution, this is something we are actively pursuing to standardize in a global scale and multi-operator framework. For the security, security is a touch point. We all know that whatever we do in a cloud world, the bad actors, these hackers find a way to line. We strongly believe an open and transparent system over time is more secure. However, it will ask us to redefine some certain standard principles. For example, the new and shared responsibility models, as we will use different partners, the TSR and the governance requirements, new data model, sorry, and security certification. In terms of network itself, today we already see a number of the 5G standalone CNFs which are mature in terms of security delivered through the NSM. Then we have the other with the proxy mesh, at least on the last mile. What is most important today with the 5G CNS, many of the security features apart from the REST APIs and HTTP2 are available. For example, use of the multi-cloud and hybrid cloud security models, use of the NSM multi-TLS and distributed TLS. Most importantly, the concepts like the platform attestation to touch the automatic visibility and the CVE and vulnerability of the prediction and removal from the infrastructure. In terms of the operations of the 5G network, it's very important that we solve one fundamental issue. Can I upgrade my infrastructure multiple times a day? There are a number of streams on which we are working. For example, first big problem is the abstraction, especially in the multi-cloud environment. Today, we have seen a number of initiatives like Captain and Crossplane, where we have seen a partner solutions delivering the KPI and SLA-based delivery of the multi-clouds. Then for network and SDN side, the network service mesh is something we are actively pursuing. In terms of observability and CI/CD, it's very important to see the XGVALA and the complete day to operations and agile delivery of the cloud platforms and the applications. In terms of upgrade, as we see, we have to use the concepts like digital twins and canary releases. Today, we are actively using Flagger for the rolling upgrade. So that is a very important direction for us to achieve. Then we have to see that about our vision as a responsible global citizen in not just to promote a technology solution, but something which will help us to make a greener and a leaner company. We are one of the major contributors of the emissions in the society. So we must have to solve some fundamental issues in the infrastructures. For example, today our infrastructure is over-dimensioned both. So we have to find the right balance of the NIC, CPU, disk, and how to define a real MVP based on the features that we really see. On the IT and the infrastructure side, there are many zombie workloads. So in order to actively predict observability of those and to shut them off and spin it up as needed is very important. Similarly, on the software side, we have to push certain features of the hardware through software, something which in the telco side we have done with the DPDK in the recent years. Then monitoring software using another software. This is again a fundamental issue. We strongly believe on this direction, the current HC architecture or a telecom landscape of cloud, certain features can be combined and aggregated. For example, EMS and VNFM, similarly VIM and SIM. This is some of the fundamental things that we are able to deliver through a common platform on a horizontal solution. That will be certainly something scale and solve this issue. Day to operation and service tier down is one of the very important direction that we have to achieve. Finally, time to wrap up. Build on solutions. We think cloud is a journey that you cannot copy a solution, something from another market and test a tested solution, because there are many impacting forces. For example, flexibility is very important. Defining your MVP, especially in terms of automation, is very important direction. Then infrastructure homogeneity is very important to deliver all applications on a common and homogeneous platforms. Finally, then as we see, the monetization of cloud is very important, and our direction and adoption of the container and the 5G is totally dependent that we build a clear model and solving the issues of the system integration and interoperability at the outset. Edge network disaggregation, 5G and SDN. This is a common delivery model. So we have to pay more attention how we will capitalize and use this. Especially as we are moving towards the last mile, is very important to make a coherence between the different solutions. Then everything must be a software defined, including the connectivity. This is the only way to scale the networks. Then on the DevOps side, day to operation still holds the key. And we must see the architecture as a software architecture and promote automation and make the rid of the unwanted components, and somehow trying to see how we can really make use of the APIs or the software ways to manage our infrastructure. And security will remain the key. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, you can reach me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Saad, for sharing your insights. For the audience, if you have any more questions for Saad, please do reach out to him directly. Our next session